Right now, you are surrounded by eyes you cannot see. Most of them will never find you, but every so often, in a crowd, on a train, across a quiet room, something shifts. A weight settles on the back of your neck. A pull you can't explain. You turn, and there they are. Someone looking right at you, already glancing away. You felt that. You're certain of it. And for one strange second, it feels like proof that something hidden lives inside you. A quiet radar tuned to the attention of strangers. So where does that feeling come from? The real answer is far stranger than a sixth sense. You don't have a sixth sense for being watched. What you have is older, faster, far more unsettling. You have a machine built into your skull over millions of years, shaped for a single purpose. To find the eyes in the dark before the eyes find you, let's go back. Long before cities, long before language, long before you. Picture an animal in tall grass. It cannot watch the whole world at once. No creature can. But there is one shape it must never miss. Two dark points side by side, aimed in its direction. In nature, a direct stare is almost never a friendly thing. A stare means a predator has chosen its target. A stare means you are about to become food. What kind of brain survives a world like that? A brain that learns to flinch before it thinks. So, evolution built a shortcut. It did not wait for animals to reason about eyes, because reasoning is slow, and a leopard is not. Instead, it carved a fast lane through the deepest part of the brain, a route that reacts to a gaze before the conscious mind has even arrived. The same ancient circuitry still hums beneath your thoughts today. It can register a pair of eyes pointed at your face in a fraction of a second, long before you could ever say the word eyes. You don't decide to notice a stare. By the time you notice anything, the noticing is already done. You can watch this machine working in the smallest humans alive. In 2002, a researcher named Teresa Ferroni sat newborn babies, some only a few days old, in front of two faces. One looked straight ahead, one looked off to the side, and every time the babies stared longer at the face that was staring back. Days old, no words, no memories, no experience of the world at all. And already they could tell the difference between eyes on them and eyes turned away. You were born already watching for watchers. Why would a brand new brain care so deeply about a single glance? Because a gaze is the oldest message in the animal kingdom. Now look at a human eye. Really look at it. There is the colored ring in the center, and around it a wide field of bright white. You see that white 1,000 times a day and never think about it once. But it is one of the strangest features on your entire body. Almost no other animal on Earth has it. Two scientists, Hiromi Kobayashi and Shiro Koshima, studied the eyes of nearly 100 different primate species. Gorillas, chimps, baboons. Their eyes are dark, the whites hidden or stained brown, perfectly disguised so no one can tell where they are looking. For most animals, hiding your gaze is an advantage. A predator that can aim without warning eats more often. A prey animal that can glance at an escape route without giving it away lives longer. So nature spent millions of years teaching eyes to lie about their direction. And then your ancestors did the exact opposite. Your eyes evolved to confess. That bright white around your iris exists for one reason, to broadcast precisely where you are looking to anyone who happens to glance your way. Scientists call this the cooperative eye hypothesis. Somewhere in your past, it became more useful to share your attention than to hide it. To follow a friend's glance toward a danger they spotted first. To point at something with your eyes alone, no hand required. You became a creature that says, with no words at all, "Look where I am looking." And the instant your species started advertising its gaze, it had to become brilliant at reading everyone else's. So it did. Deep inside your brain, in a fold called the superior temporal sulcus, there are cells that do almost nothing else. The neuroscientist David Parrott found neurons that fire for one thing and one thing only: the direction a person is looking. Some of these cells wake up for eyes turned left, others for eyes turned right, and a special set fires hardest of all for eyes aimed straight ahead, straight at you. Think about that. You have individual brain cells whose entire job is to sound an alarm when something is looking directly into your face. Most of your life, you never feel them work. They run in total silence, underneath every thought, scanning every face in every crowd you have ever stood in, until one of them locks onto a direct gaze, and then you feel it. A pressure with no obvious source. But here is where your watching machine reveals its true secret. It is not fair, it is not patient, and it does not wait for certainty before it decides. When the signal is unclear, a face half in shadow, a glance at the very edge of your vision, a stranger hidden behind dark sunglasses, your brain does not calmly withhold judgment. It assumes the worst. In 2013, the psychologists Isabel Marischal and Colin Clifford showed people faces where the gaze was deliberately ambiguous, genuinely impossible to read. And over people landed on the very same answer. They are looking at me. When your brain truly cannot tell, its default setting is being watched. Why would evolution build something so quietly paranoid? Because the cost of the wrong guess was everything. Imagine an ancestor who felt that flicker at the edge of his vision, decided it was nothing, and was wrong. He did not get a second chance to reconsider. Now imagine the one who flinched at empty shadows 1,000 times, who wasted energy turning around for nothing again and again, but who also turned the single time a real set of eyes was fixed on him from the brush. That one lived. That one had children. You are the descendant of the flinchers, every last one of them, in an unbroken chain stretching back further than you can imagine. Their false alarms are your inheritance, and that alarm system is running right now, behind your eyes, as you sit here reading this. So let's ask the dangerous question, the one the entire feeling rests upon. Can you actually feel a stare you cannot see? This is the part nearly everyone believes. The prickle on the back of the neck. The total certainty that someone behind you is watching, arriving before you have turned your head an inch. It feels undeniable. So scientists decided to test it properly. They sat people in chairs and had other people stare at the backs of their heads. No mirrors, no reflections in a window, no sound, no shuffle, no clue of any kind. Then they simply asked, "Are you being watched right now? Yes or no?" And the famous radar went completely silent. People guessed at pure chance. No better than flipping a coin. Strip away every visible signal, and the unstoppable feeling on the back of your neck simply evaporates. So what is really happening back there? Something honestly more impressive than magic. Your watching machine is so fast and so utterly quiet that you mistake its work for a sense you do not actually possess. In a real room, you are never truly blind behind you. The far edge of your vision catches a head beginning to turn. The flow of a crowd shifts in a way that does not quite fit. A person goes suddenly, unnaturally still, and stillness, to an animal, means focus. Means something has locked on. Your brain quietly gathers 100 tiny fragments you never consciously register, and then it hands you the conclusion before it ever shows you the evidence. The feeling arrives first. The reason, if it ever arrives at all, limps in second. And then your memory finishes the illusion. You vividly remember every time you turned around and someone really was looking. You completely forget the 1,000 times you turned to absolutely nothing. The hits feel like destiny. The misses vanish without a trace. Now take that ancient machine and drop it into your world. A world it was never, ever built for. You stand in a room and feel a portrait's eyes follow you across the floor. The Mona Lisa, a painted saint, an old photograph on a wall. The eyes track you no matter where you move. It feels alive. It absolutely is not. A flat image painted with a forward gaze has no real direction to lose as you walk, so your gaze detector reads it as aimed at you from every single angle in the room. The oldest circuitry in your head, defeated by a flat piece of canvas. And it goes further still. You walk into a room full of phones held up, lenses pointed your way, and your skin prickles even though not one living eye is on you. Your ancient detector cannot tell a camera from a face. A dark circle aimed in your direction is enough to trip it. You now feel watched by glass. You sit on a video call and try to meet another person's eyes, and you simply cannot. To look into their eyes, you have to look at your camera. To look at your camera is to look away from their face. The oldest signal in all of nature and the most modern tool you own can never quite touch. So you drift through your days feeling perceived by machines that perceive nothing and faintly disconnected from the people who actually can. Here is the truth underneath every bit of it. You are not psychic. You never were. What you are is the final result of an unbroken line of nervous creatures who survived precisely because they noticed eyes, and who passed down, brain by brain by brain, a detector so exquisitely sensitive that it fires at shadows, at glass, at paint, at nothing at all. It feels like a gift handed to you from somewhere beyond yourself. It is the exact opposite. It is the deepest, oldest, most loyal part of you, still standing guard in a world that no longer needs it nearly so much. So the next time the back of your neck goes cold and you turn and a stranger glances away, do not reach for the supernatural. Something far more ancient than that just spoke. A machine older than your name, older than your language, older than your entire species, leaning in close to whisper the single warning it was born to give. Right now, you are surrounded by eyes you cannot see, and the thing inside you that knows it has never, for 1 second of your life, stopped looking back.